Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Brisbane Biohackers podcast. I'm Tom, your host, and today I'm joined by clinical nutritionist and CEO of Wholesomeness, Lisa Cutforth. We take a deep dive into the philosophy behind the brand, some of their pretty unique offerings, as well as some insights into where their food is sourced and prepared. So, if you're thinking about using a meal delivery service soon, or maybe you're familiar with wholesomeness but just want to know more, this is for you. Please enjoy the episode.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm just in my car. I've had to do a number of outings and deliveries, and I was going to sit outside at the beach, and now it's so windy. I thought you won't be able to hear me, and I'll get cold.
That's all right. I can hear you just fine. Oh, was working hard today then?
Yeah, look, that's the story of my life at the moment. It's keeping me busy.
Yeah. When I was
Yeah.
because I had the same issue. I was getting sort of really busy with looking for more work and trying to stay stable while things were going crazy. So one of the things I just decided to do was try pre-prepared meal delivery options, which I'd never really done before. And I actually really like the results. I actually stumbled across you guys. You resonated with me because I lived in St. Lucia for quite a while since I lived up here in Brisbane. So hearing you were local was really nice. Just before I get started anymore, hello and welcome to the Brisbane Biohackers podcast. My name's Tom. I'm your host. Today we're going to be talking all about food, meal delivery services, to be exact. Joining me in this episode is the clinical nutritionist and CEO of Wholesomeness meal delivery service, Lisa Cutforth. Lisa, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. So, Lisa, for those listening at home that may not know who you are, you've done a lot of things with your life, actually. So, you've studied science, majoring in both nutrition and psychology. You have over 10 years' experience as a clinical nutritionist. You've also studied in commercial cookery and food safety. You seem to be very passionate about food intolerances and gut health. You've traveled to over 40 countries. You have not one, but three ready-made meal delivery services. Now you're working on providing affordable and scale commercially cooking kitchen hire for aspiring food businesses here in Brisbane. Please tell us, just where did your passion for food and nutrition start?
Oh, I think I've always loved food, so I love to eat it. I've always loved
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of food. My passion for the health side came from I was a very sick child with
Mm-hmm.
lots of allergies and sore tummy all the time, headaches all the time. I was on always getting testing for different things,
Mm-hmm.
and at some point I got fed up with that. As I became
Mm-hmm.
an adult, I decided surely there must be a more simple option. I was asthmatic when I was a child, and there was a specialist doctor who'd put me on a diet. And I remember thinking, wow, that was progressive, but I grew out of to cut out preservatives from my diet. So I wasn't allowed preservatives or colorings or artificial flavors. Now you can imagine as a child that would have been like a curse on your life,
All
right?
your
But
favorite foods are
the,
gone,
the
yeah.
thing that happened, oh, yeah, that's right. No chocolate, no ice cream, no chips,
Oh,
no all those
nightmare.
yummy things, party food. Like I used to go to birthday parties, and so very slowly I was allowed to reintroduce them because I grew out of the eczema and asthma. But then
Mm-hmm.
as an adult, when I went to university, again I was really unwell, and so that was one of the reasons I studied nutrition and psychology. Is I thought, okay, I'm really interested in what's the natural option here. How do I get well, but also how do um, I understood then that everyone has a relationship with food. So it was like, how
Mm.
do I do this for myself? But then also, how do I learn about, why don't we do what we think we should do? Why,
Yes.
all that behavior change stuff. So I became very interested in behavior change, how
Mm.
do, and the relationship with food and eating and how stress affected everything. And so I did that before I studied my degree there. I did a cordon bleu cookery course. So
Yes.
there was a wonderful school in London that I did basically French cooking. So, and
Yeah.
I knew I never wanted to be a chef, but I loved food and I loved eating good food. So I kind of just decided to study and learn as much as I could. And then the meal delivery came about as, I mean, the end of my story is I did actually heal myself and become really well. And so that was useful with working with clients, is because I had transferable skills. Like by the time you've studied something, you understand the theory, and then you think you're going to be able to fix everyone, and then you realize actually it doesn't really work like that.
People don't listen. Yeah.
No, you can give someone the perfect meal plan and they don't apply it. So that's the meal delivery plan came about, is because people said, well, can't you cook it for us? Here's the meal plan. Can't you cook it for us? So that's basically.
That's so funny. You should say asthma and eczema specifically, because I have a very good friend, one of the good friends. He suffers from asthma and eczema, and I've tried approaches. I can't speak from context. I've never suffered from either, but I'll read things and find products, and I'll say, hey, you should try this, and why don't you give this a go? And he'll sort of look at it and go, oh yeah, it looks alright. I'll give it a try once, but like there's something about people, I think, that they can't be told what to do. Like they have to, you almost have to create a pre-packaged solution that's easy, so it takes the willpower drain away. And that's where I think the power of meal delivery services really is.
Yeah, and that's it. And one of the things is people ask me, is there meal delivery? And there was, but it wasn't something that I felt like I could recommend with good conscience. I was like, oh, that's not really healthy, or it might be promoted for weight loss, but it's not really healthy food. So so that's why I ended up basically, I found a chef that would cook my meal plans, and we developed recipes, and then that's basically the way. And I specialized in gluten and dairy free meals, and then also vegan meals, and then low FODMAP meals. And so I started to specialize in how can we make, and my sole ambition was to I love food, and I love food that tastes good, but I love healthy food. So the sole ambition was to change that. One, take health off the too hard shelf, but also change that idea that healthy food can actually be delicious. Like you don't have to be sitting and eating lettuce leaves in order to be healthy. You can actually eat really tasty, nourishing food every day of your life and still feel like it's okay, and it's delicious. It's not, it doesn't have to be like this burden or this feeling like you're on a diet or you're
eating lettuce all day.
That's right.
That's so funny. I'm a big reader, and I did one year I did a challenge to read a book a day every day. Now I couldn't read it cover to cover. I'm not that fast, but I just wanted to get like a few key points just to get out of it. And one of them was about changing your eating habits, which is one thing I know you're passionate about as well. And you said one of the things you can do if you don't like something that you eat, but you know it's healthy for you, is just to keep eating it, like sort of over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Or fix it with something that you do like. So that's why I like the variety that came. For background, as I'm sure everyone here is aware now, Wholesome is a food delivery subscription service where healthy, ready-made meals are delivered directly to your local floor each week. Here to take the hassle out of following a balanced diet. So we sort of already covered what sort of drove you to start Wholesomeness. You were sort of looked at like out there what was available, weren't really happy with a lot of the options. Maybe you didn't feel like they catered for everyone. Maybe you had clients yourselves who just said, I want to make these meals, but I'm too busy with work, I'm too busy with family. Basically, can you provide me with an option? Was that sort of the driving force behind starting Wholesomeness?
Yeah, that basically was. I started it as Healthy Meals to Your Door originally. So Wholesomeness was a brand extension we picked up. So it was Fit Foods Club. So I wasn't the founder of those two brands, but I took them over because both of the founders were getting out of meal delivery. They found it was a bit stressful, but for me, I was already doing Healthy Meals to Your Door. So they were brands that I aligned myself with. And so I bought those brands, and so that's why there's now 3. But originally it was Healthy Meals to Your Door, and then Wholesomeness and Fit Foods Club is the other one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was quite confusing in the research. I was like, oh my God, there's three? Like, what?
no,
Yeah.
it is. And
Yeah.
so but yeah, so Wholesomeness is probably the main brand and ethos. The Fit Foods Club one is really because I got a lot of personal trainers or people that were into fitness, and
Yeah.
they're not necessarily looking for or identifying with healthy eating. They want foods that are like high protein or going to build
Calories.
muscles or make them strong, or calories. So it was just, if you identify with the brand and fitness and foods, it was much more easier to speak to them as an audience. With Wholesomeness, so it's a very different client. So the products are not that dissimilar, but the clients are completely different. With Wholesomeness, they're already aligning themselves, looking for, wholesome principles, or, they're already identifying with or interested in health and those solutions. So it's a kind of very different demographic, if you like.
Different strategy based on the offering, yeah. And I've been reading some research, and pre-prepared meal services are taking off. The growth is expected to be very strong. Sort of the big supermarket leaders are losing out to these smaller sort of black label companies like yourself and others, just because they do offer these sort of like niche offerings and perceptions of higher quality. So for the purposes of our review, we tried your 4-week detox box. I chose that plan because I hadn't really seen anything else like it around. For those of you who don't know what the 4-week detox is, do yourself a favor and check out our unboxing video. Link will be in the review notes. But just quickly, so each week you received 14 gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, and or low FODMAP meals, protein-powered breakfast smoothie pack, snack pack, and a detox me, as well as these lovely printed out materials which show you how to plan your detox and plan your day. And there's lots of information here as well for you too. I got a lot of value out of this. I'm sort of pretty young, pretty healthy. I didn't really have a really high perceived need to detox. But then a friend of mine was telling me about a crazy protocol he was doing, like the niacin detox. Have you heard about this?
No. So as in niacin, as in the B vitamin?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Like I can, I'll listen. I'll hear what you have to say, and then I'll give my comment.
Just I guess just for the cliff notes, basically you take a high dose, 100 milligrams of vitamin B3 and niacin, and that basically sort of flushes your body, and then immediately after that you go into about half an hour of exercise, drink some charcoal, and then jump in the sauna. So your body's sweating out these toxins which are getting binded up by the charcoal, and then just passed out, and that's where you sort of detox. So that's pretty extreme. Bringing it back to what you offer. The one of the things that actually really impressed me out of the video, it's in the video, you actually included some supplements as well as part of the program, which I thought was really cool. There's two. There was Metagenics glutathione and Ultraflora Restored dairy-free probiotic. Could you tell us just quickly why those two you chose to include in the program?
I chose pre and probiotics because like obviously we're detoxing all the time. So our body naturally detoxes. So the kind of the fundamental, it was almost like, it was clients asking me to provide them with a detox rather than me thinking that it's necessary for everybody to be detoxing regularly. However, your body will detox regularly. The issue is that in our modern day lives, we can't probably bombard our body with too many toxins on a regular basis. So if you're living one of those lives, there will become a need to kind of give yourself pockets of time where you're kind of turning down all of those lifestyle influences, like whether it's diet or drinking or alcohol, and cigarette smoking. Maybe you've had a bit of a sedentary life, all those sorts of things. And if those toxins get too high, and what's really, really interesting is different genetic types seem to be able to detox better than others. So depending on who you are, so individual nutrition is everything, but depending on who you are, your needs change. So the reason for those supplements is that some people actually, glutathione is something that your liver uses. So we make it naturally anyway, and your liver uses it to detoxify. So for some genetic types, that pathway becomes affected. So they absolutely benefit from more support with glutathione. Now, obviously, I'm not testing everybody before they do this detox, but it was just one way to find a natural substance that I know that will specifically help with those detox pathways. And I'm trusting that the people that put their hand up for a detox are probably the ones that need it, because let's be honest, nobody runs towards a detox. People are like, okay, I'll do it if I have to, or there's a
or
perceived
bloggers like
need.
me, yeah,
or people that are really curious or interested.
yeah.
But usually what happens is that pathway gets a bit clogged up, and so glutathione is supportive. So the reason I choose glutathione is it's something that the body makes naturally, but it's also, I didn't want to give people just gimmicky products. They are expensive products, so I'm not making any money out of those products, but I just wanted to choose, if I had to choose only two that were worthwhile, to take glutathione for a season while you're detoxing can be supportive. But also the pre and probiotics. Gut health is the most important thing in terms of health and wellness and well-being, and also that biome. And if you have a really healthy biome, that biome will detox. It will cleave heavy metals out of your body. It will water viruses, bacteria. Like it's amazing. If you've got a healthy gut, it's your first part of your immune system. It's a first part of your digesting and being able to use nutrients. Basically, without a healthy gut, we're nothing really. So the pre and probiotics just help kind of give us the best chance. So while you're detoxing, you're going to be dumping chemicals and toxins, and you're going to have die-off of certain things that are, and so there's going to be a little war in your gut, and a whole lot of dumping. So what we're doing is we're supporting the liver detox pathway, and we're also making sure that we're giving our best chance to recolonizing the healthy guys, so that that while we're putting all these wonderful nutrients in, your body will naturally start to work through all the detoxification for you. And it's just a way of providing a little bit of support.
Bit of reinforcements.
That's right.
Yeah, awesome. So gut health and food tolerances are a big approach to your nutrition practice. I acknowledge I guess my question is, what made you choose to do / include these when putting them together in the wholesomeness boxes? Obviously, there's other things you could have included instead, like say NAC or like activated charcoal or things like that. Is it just because those products are a bit fringe and you thought it's just kill people, it's easy, they'll take these, or?
I think it's because without testing everybody, those pathways are going to be worked. So not everybody needs to supplement NAC, but there's absolutely people that I would find when I do organic acid testing or things that I might think, they could really use that specific one. Glutathione, it's already it's where it needs to be used. So whereas NAC is further up the pathways and things like that. So giving them glutathione, it's just straight in, it's just helping. Also in terms of why not activated charcoal. Activated charcoal is wonderful for binding, but a lot of people don't realize that sometimes you don't just want to bind all your minerals. When you're moving minerals, you're moving things at different, you're going to move the lighter ones before you move the heavy ones. So everyone thinks, woohoo, I'm binding my minerals. So they might do activated charcoal, or they might do green juices and just green powders and hammer their bodies with that. But the thing is it's such a delicate balance with those trace minerals and trace nutrients and things like that. So you don't necessarily, not everyone is going to benefit from binding all their minerals and excreting them out of their body, because you're going to bind not just the ones you want to get rid of, you're going to move some of the other ones. So without testing people and knowing where they are with their mineral status, I don't necessarily want to be giving them something that's going to pull more out. So, for some people, for example, if they're already iron deficient, or if they're zinc deficient, or if they're copper deficient, or if they have underlying deficiencies, and then we're giving them something that's dragging more stuff out, it's not necessarily where I want to start. But absolutely, I might use those in some tailored, personalized cases. But I just wanted to be really careful about giving people things that it's just, I'm not meeting everyone. I'm not having a one-on-one consultation with these clients before they're buying this online.
But everyone's got the money for functional testing.
That's right. So it was just kind of what things can I give safely that are going to have a positive impact and actually do what I'm promoting they'll do, which is detox.
That's right, And I've heard, what I've heard, all about this, but the glutathione is one of the safest supplements you can take for long-term use. So I was glad to see that as an include. That was really nice.
Yeah,
So
cool.
Wholesomeness, you've been around for a while now. Have you sort of changed much since your direction since you started?
Um, the meal delivery's been there. I've been doing that for 5 years. Have we changed much? The probably the most recent change is FODMAP. We
Yes.
also, yes, so adding that, and again, that was driven by the client. We've got a lot of emails, please, 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 and if I don't know if you do a lot of cooking, but it's actually not. It's something that's really challenging
It's
to
hard.
to to cut garlic out, to cut onion out, and to maintain flavor, to do gluten-free, dairy-free, no onion, no
Yeah.
garlic. And then there's
Yeah.
all the, there's a lot of legumes you can't put in. There's a lot of nuts
Mm.
you can't put in.
Right to the
There's
end of an ingredients list, it's just garlic. You're like, oh, never mind. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. So I did, and because we already do gluten-free, dairy-free, and we had a vegan range already, I was reluctant to start cutting out more and more ingredients, and I was worried my chefs would kill me. But in the end, we persisted, and so now we do FODMAP, and we even do FODMAP vegan. The vegan range for the FODMAPs is a bit more limited,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we have done that. So that's probably the most recent edition. That's only about a year old, and actually it's one of our most popular plans. So ironically now the
Yeah.
vegan and the FODMAP plans are absolutely our popular plans, and they keep us cooking. Like we're cooking multiple days a week. We're cooking 4 or 5 days a week,
Right.
just to keep up with the demand.
I was
Whereas in
I
the
was one of those
beginning we
people you were
started
cooking
with
for. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah.
yeah, so and we're trying to keep the range. That's the challenge is also to make sure that there's enough variety. How did you find the meals? Because you had the FODMAP plan. Did
I
you?
did. Yeah. And I'd never
Because you're
tried
not
out.
vegan.
No, at the moment, no. I've tried it
Okay.
in before, but not at the moment. So it was my first time ever trying a pre-prepared meal delivery service. So it was a bit of an adjustment, sort of instead of preparing the meals, just taking it out and sort of putting it in the oven. I always preferred to put it in the oven. It just felt nicer than putting it in the microwave, sort of cleaner
Yeah.
somehow. But yeah, like I sometimes experience sort of fluctuations in my health and my mood or energy throughout the day, but when I was taking the meals and sometimes the drinks, like my blood sugar felt a bit more stable, my mood did feel a bit more stable. Like I had these herbal teas whenever I would have little
Oh,
cravings
good.
and little snacks, which I'm eating right now. I got like the bliss balls and stuff, which are really
Oh,
tasty.
awesome.
So yeah, that's great. So is that sort of your plan for the future then? Just to consolidate what you've got and then just sort of keep expanding your range as your customers ask you for more things? Or
Yeah. So the other thing that we added was like a vegan treats. That it doesn't have any refined sugar in it, and it is gluten free and dairy free. And it's vegan, so obviously dairy free. But so that was interesting because that's not necessarily healthy, but it was the treat component. Is like it's actually it's amazing how clean it is for a treat. But
yeah.
so those little things, and that's again, it's client led. What about treats? Do you desserts? What about breakfast packs? What about and so yeah, so the range. So yes, by client need, we'll be expanding. We've also now set up a pop-up shop. So that's kind of the latest wholesomeness edition. Is we now
Yes.
have a physical store where people can come and visit us. So that's
Yeah.
the future. Is
And you're back open now?
yeah, so we are open. So COVID obviously has meant that there's no dine-in, but people can come into the shop and purchase a single meal rather than having to buy online a pack or whatever. So that's going. That's been open for about 2 months now,
Great.
and going well. So we've got our regulars that come and buy one meal a day, and because that's all fresh, so we do 3 or 4 different varieties every day, and it's a different menu every day, and it's on our website. It's the Wholesomeness website, and then /Roma.
Great.
So that's probably the latest edition, and then
No worries.
as the COVID restrictions lift, we'll probably have an option for some dine-in and cafe style things,
Terrific.
and obviously the catering side, we get a lot of inquiries, so we'll probably expand that.
Terrific.
But other
All
than
right.
that,
Well, we expect to see you in you guys. Wholesomeness on Roma Street.
yeah.
So I had a couple extra questions from friends and people who had actually given out the meals to. I'm very lucky to know quite a few chefs sort of in my network. some of them were very impressed with some of the meals. You know, I'd never expected a meal to come out of a frozen box that it tasted so good. You mentioned just now that your team in the morning sort of makes a lot of the meals, at least for Roma Street, fresh. And I also like that when you sent the boxes, you actually gave a couple of meals fresh within that, and then the rest frozen to store for later, which was quite handy.
Yeah.
Do you prepare the meals yourself personally, or do you have a team that you prefer to have a hands-off approach? You have a head chef and he manages your kitchen sort of that way?
Well, at the moment, I'm head chef.
Sure.
My chefs are all autonomous, so basically they kind of manage themselves. So there isn't really a head chef structure, if you like. But I'm the one who's in charge of ordering the supplies and setting the menu for the week and those sorts of things.
Mhm.
I am very hands-on. So most shifts I'm in the kitchen for at least a couple of hours. Sometimes I'm in there for 12 hours. So we are, yes, I am very hands-on at the moment. Yes, ideally I'll step away from that. It was necessary for a while. Anytime you're doing new product development and as you grow and stretch, you've kind of got to be hands-on to make sure that the quality's there, make sure that everybody understands. And when you're working with recipes, it's interesting. You can give the same recipe to 5 different chefs and their interpretation of it will be different.
Totally different.
And I love that, so you want, it's a fine line between giving chefs, their carte blanche, do your magic with this, and then also because we're working with special dietary needs, it's really, really important that they stick to the ingredients list. So and so it's been I've got beautiful chefs. 2 of them are vegan in my team. I've got one of my chefs is a health coach. Another one, I've got this a lot of and one of our team members is actually a baker, so she's used to be working with gluten and sugar and all the nastiness. And it's interesting is since she's been working with us, she's completely changed her eating. She loves all our vegan meals. She's just about vegan now. Her favorite dishes are the tofu. She's the reason we have a butter tofu dish, is because we made a butter chicken. She said, can't you do one with tofu? And I was like, what? And I hadn't even thought of it, and so we made a butter tofu, and it was the baker that suggested
actually,
it. So it's been interesting. We've got a beautiful team, and everybody's really on board, and we all eat the food that we cook. And my family eats my food, so yeah.
Terrific, what's for dinner, Mum? Like, I guess, like, here's one meal, like,
Yeah.
Oh,
so
brilliant.
Sometimes she likes me to mix it up. Sometimes she's like, oh, we're eating wholesomeness again. Sometimes she's mostly she's fine, but she's enjoyed the wholesomeness on Roma. We actually sell pies, so we make proper, wonderful, nutritious filling inside. The pie pastry is very naughty. Definitely only eat in moderation, but
it's got to be, yeah.
That's right. So it's been fun for the cafe to have some nourishment packed into something a bit cheeky. So we are serving a bit of a different clientele, but it's been interesting how they're embracing the healthy, nourishing side without realizing that they are, so it's been
true. Is that someone getting into your car right now that you have to?
Yes. No, well, it's my daughter. It's fine. She's we're at the beach, so she's been just having a little play. So
no worries.
She's now jumping in.
We can wrap this up. You've given us so much value to Havers today. We have heaps of stuff I didn't get to, so if you want to come back on, we'd love to have you. Anyway, we hope you're safe, you and your family. If there's anything you'd like to shout out while you're here, any products you got going on, new things you got happening, please feel free to do that now, or just buy wholesomeness food.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And any questions you have, we do have the wholesomeness blog. There's a few great blogs. My other website is healthier.com.au. So if anyone wanted to shoot specific questions my way, just contact us through the website, and we'll see how we can help.
And they're not lying, guys. The support team is terrific. So yeah, if you have any questions, reach out and they'll be in touch with you. Okay, Lisa, thanks you for coming on today. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you soon.
Thanks so much for having me. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And thank you for listening. We really hope you enjoyed this episode on meal delivery services. If you'd like to learn more about wholesomeness, you can check them out at www.wholesomeness.com.au. Link is in the description. If you'd like to connect with us, the Brisbane Biohackers, head on over to your favourite social channel. You'll find us at Brisbane Biohackers, links also in the description. If you have a topic you'd like to see covered on the show, leave a comment below. I read them all, and we hope to see you on the next one. Until then.